Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine 2023 was announced in October. We would like to talk about how to enjoy reading a scientific paper that led to the Nobel Prize. Using this approach, we will be able to learn how to read the paper in a field that we are not familiar with. Hi everyone, welcome to the Foundational Skills in Life Sciences podcast. We discuss the skills that the life science scholars learn, use, and improve throughout the professional activities. Your benefit is expressed in my motto, learn the skills, enjoy academic life. I'm your host, Dr. Synaptologica. Synaptologica, or synaptology, is a study of synapses where a communication occurs between nerve cells. I'm a neuroscientist and a professor at a university in the United States. The episodes 7 and 8 were parts 1 and 2 of the mini-series on reading. We talked about the goals of reading a milestone article by the Nobel Laureates and why we would want to read it. This episode is part 3. We will start discussing how to prepare for reading the milestone article and how to actually read the milestone article step by step. We will use the example of this year's Nobel Prize. Overview of the steps for reading the milestone article. We have 3 groups of sequential steps. The first group of steps is for us to set up the stage and prepare for reading the milestone article. We will obtain the basic background information necessary to understand the content of the milestone article. The second group of steps is for us to identify the milestone article and to find its web page. The third group of steps is for us to read the milestone article. We will read 3 sections of the paper, the abstract, the introduction, and the discussion. Today's episode. Today, we will talk about the first group of steps. We have 3 steps. They are, Step 1, visit the official website of the Nobel Prize. Step 2, find a YouTube video on the Nobel Prize website. Step 3, watch the YouTube video. I will explain why each step is necessary. If some comments are available, I will also add them as we go along. Let's get started. Step 1. Visit the Nobel Prize website. The first step is to visit the official website of the Nobel Prize organization. The URL of its homepage is nobelprize.org with no space in between the words. Comment for Step 1. This website lists all the Nobel laureates in the past. They include the laureates in all the fields of physiology or medicine, physics, chemistry, literature, peace, and economic sciences. It also shows many activities of the Nobel Prize organization. For example, it shows the information about the public events hosted by the organization. It shows the educational resources for teachers to use in the classroom too. So this website is useful. Why Step 1 is necessary? I just mentioned that this website is useful, but there's a special reason why we want to visit this website as Step 1. It is because this website prepared 3 very important high-quality products for us. The Nobel Committee published these products on the day of the Nobel Prize announcement. This year, it was October 2nd, 2023. We want to use these quality products to learn about the laureates' work in later steps. The 3 products are 1. YouTube video of the Nobel Prize announcement. We will look for this video in Step 2 and watch it in Step 3 today. 2. The so-called press release. This is a brief introduction to the laureates' work. This is in a written format. We will need its information for identifying the milestone article in a later step. 3. The so-called advanced information. We will want to access this information when we want to know the details of the laureates' work. This is in the format of an extensive review paper. The Nobel Prize website will provide us with all the information necessary for our reading activity. So the website helps us set up the stage for reading the milestone article. Step 2. Find the YouTube video of the Nobel Prize announcement. We want to watch the video entitled Announcement of the 2023 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. It is prepared by the official Nobel Prize organization. We would like to watch it to learn the background information for reading the milestone article. There are 3 methods to find it. Step 2, the first method. The first method is to use the direct link that I will show on my website. I have added a timestamp to the link, so you can start watching the presentation immediately with a single click. In fact, I will show you all the related links there. If the website is up and running by the time you listen to this episode, you will find the links and some more information there. Please go to synaptologica.com/9. Step 2, the second method. The second method is to go to the website of YouTube, youtube.com, and search for the video there. In the search box, enter the title that I just mentioned, that is, Announcement of the 2023 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Step 2, the third method. The third method is for you if you want to orient yourself on the Nobel Prize website, like I do. I will walk you through now on a computer. Please note that I'm recording this episode in late November of 2023. The video location could be different when you listen to it later. First, make sure you're on the homepage of the Nobel Prize website, as we did in Step 1. Again, it is nobelprize.org. At the top of the webpage, you will find several tabs. Hover your mouse over the leftmost tab that says Nobel Prizes and Laureates. A pull-down menu will appear. Choose the top entry of the menu that says All Nobel Prizes. Then a new web page appears. It shows you the list of all the Nobel Prizes since 1901 through 2023. The list is in reverse chronological order, so you will find the 2023 Nobel Prizes near the top. Click the link that says the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine 2023. A new web page appears. Scroll down and you will find an embedded YouTube video in the section called Prize Announcement. This is the video that we want to watch. Comment 1 for Step 2. This YouTube video shows the broadcasting of the Nobel Prize announcement. It was recorded live on the announcement day, and it was archived for a later replay by the audience, that is, us. The video has 4 parts. 1, the announcement and the introduction of the laureates. 2, the presentation by a Nobel Committee member explaining the laureates' work. 3, the questions and answers session. And 4, an interview with another Nobel Committee member. What we really need is the second part, which is the presentation of the laureates' work. Comment 2 for Step 2. Let me add some information about the 5 people that you will see in the video. All of them are members of the Nobel Committee, which recommended the candidates of the laureates to the Nobel Assembly. Then the Nobel Assembly voted for the laureates and selected them. The laureates were announced at first by Dr. Perlman, the Secretary General of the Nobel Assembly and the Nobel Committee. He also chaired the entire session. The presenter of the laureates' work was Dr. Sandberg. One webpage of the Nobel Prize described him as the Nobel Committee member. Just as side information, the webpage for the Nobel Committee described him as an associate member of the Nobel Committee. 2 people were seated at the front during the announcement, and they answered questions from the floor during the questions and answers session. They were Dr. Carlson Hiedestam and Dr. Champe. They are the chair and the vice chair of the Nobel Committee, respectively. The person interviewed at the end of the video was Dr. Pan Hammarström. The video mentioned her as another member of the Nobel Committee. Like Dr. Sandberg, the webpage for the Nobel Committee described her as an associate member of the Nobel Committee. So, all the 5 people in the video were Nobel Committee members. Why Step 2 is necessary? In this step, we looked for the YouTube video of the Nobel Prize announcement. There is a single reason why we want to watch a video before reading a milestone article, and there's a single reason why we looked for this specific video. The reason why we want to watch a video is because we want to obtain the necessary background information for understanding the milestone article. It will be a little challenging for most of us if we start reading the milestone article without any prior knowledge about what is written and what is discussed in the paper. I also hope you agree that watching a video is an easy way to learn something new. The reason why we looked for this specific video is because it provides us with the high-quality background information with the right amount. Importantly, I do not want to suggest you pick a related video at random, or I do not want to suggest you watch many videos to learn the background. This very specific selection of only one video is meaningful. This is the one prepared by the Nobel Committee for announcing the Nobel Prize. This video tells us exactly why the laureate's work is important and why the laureate's work is worth the Nobel Prize. And the tone and the content of the presentation are geared exactly toward non-experts who are interested in life sciences. So this video is the best, and the Nobel Committee prepared it for us. Of course, you're welcome to view other videos. You're also welcome to read websites, for example, Wikipedia, Google Search, generative AI like ChatGPT and Google Bard, and so on. You're welcome to do any of them when you have time and if you want to learn more. But when you do so, there's no guarantee that the contents are trustable. Even if the contents are trustable, there's no guarantee that they are of high quality. And even if they are of high quality, there's no guarantee that they will give you the exact information you will need for reading the milestone article. For purposes of our mini-series on reading, there is no need to search for any other videos or websites that talk about the laureate's work. If you want me to give you a recommendation for only one online information, it should not be any related video or any related website. Watch this video by the Nobel Committee. This is our only preparation for reading the milestone article. Then you will minimize the time and effort spent on the preparation. At the same time, you will maximize the efficiency of the preparation. In episode 7, I mentioned that I would show you one approach for making it easy to read the milestone article with no background information. The approach I meant was watching this YouTube video prepared by the Nobel Committee. This is the end of the comments to Step 2. Step 3. Watch the YouTube video of the Nobel Prize announcement. The third step is to watch the video of the Nobel Prize announcement. This is the video we found in Step 2. The most important part of the video to us is the presentation part. One of the Nobel Committee members, Dr. Sandberg, explained the laureate's work. By watching this presentation, we will learn the background information about the scientific work by the Nobel laureates. The video is 38 minutes long, but the presentation part is only about 9 minutes long. It starts at about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Start the video and enjoy. Comment for Step 3. To give you an idea about how the presentation proceeds, I would like to talk about the presented slides. One slide will be shown 3 times in the presentation. It is a photo of the laureates. In addition to this laureate's photo slide, there are 12 slides in the presentation. Here are brief descriptions of the 12 slides. They will tell you an outline of the presented story. I will not explain the details. I would like you to watch the video yourself so that you will understand what is presented. The first 4 slides are general introductions to the field. Slide 1. Viral infections trigger antiviral immune responses, which combat infectious diseases. Slide 2. Vaccines were developed to protect people against infectious diseases. Traditional vaccines were based on weakened or inactivated viruses. Slide 3. Another variant of traditional vaccines was the vaccine based on recombinant proteins. Slide 4. viral vector vaccines were recently developed for introducing parts of viral DNA. But these existing vaccines were based on resource-intensive, large-scale cell cultures. In contrast, messenger RNA vaccines, if possible, will be based on introducing messenger RNA. They would be better vaccines because they do not require large-scale cell cultures, and they would be scalable, fast, and flexible for development. The next slide describes the two major identified problems. Slide 5. There were improvements to the methods for messenger RNA production and delivery to the host cells. But there were two problems with such experimentally produced, that is, in vitro produced, messenger RNA. First, such messenger RNA itself triggered the unwanted inflammatory responses before viral proteins are produced from the messenger RNA. Second, such messenger RNA produced viral protein in only low amounts. The next 5 slides describe the milestone work. Slide 6. The laureates found that the in vitro produced messenger RNA caused the inflammatory responses like the messenger RNA of bacteria did, whereas messenger RNA of human cells did not cause the inflammatory responses. Slide 7. The laureates noted that the modification of the nucleoside base is more prevalent in human RNA than in bacterial RNA. This led to the critical hypothesis that a lack of base modification leads to inflammatory responses. Slide 8. When they modified the nucleoside bases in the in vitro produced messenger RNA, the inflammatory responses were suppressed. Slide 9. Here's the key data. Modification of the nucleoside uridine, for example, pseudouridine, was especially effective in completely abolishing the inflammatory responses. Here, the laureates solved the first of the two problems. This was reported in Milestone Article 1. Slide 10. The laureates found further that the base-modified messenger RNA also produced more protein than unmodified messenger RNA. Here, the laureates solved the second of the two problems. This was reported in Milestone Articles 2 and 3. The last 2 slides describe the applications of the milestone work. Slide 11. Messenger RNA-based COVID-19 vaccines were developed based on pseudouridine modification. They were approved very rapidly for clinical uses. Slide 12. Messenger RNA technology can be applied in the future, for example, to vaccines against other infectious diseases, therapeutic protein deliveries, and cancer vaccines. The presentation covered the context in which the awarded work was done, what the problems were before the laureates' work, what the laureates did, how they solved the problems, and what the work means for the field. This is a beautiful presentation. Why Step 3 is necessary? Why is it useful and helpful for us to watch this video? Here we would like to talk about 6 specific reasons why this video is good. First, as we discussed in the comment to the previous step, the presentation in the YouTube video gives us all the information necessary and important for us to understand the awarded work. The information is provided at the easiest level and in the most concise manner in less than 10 minutes. It is an excellent summary and introduction to the laureates' work. Again, in my view, it is the best place to start, and in fact, it is the only place we would need to prepare us to read the milestone article. The second reason why this video is good is because the presentation is very reliable and trustworthy. It was created by real experts who recommended and selected the Nobel Prize Laureates. For example, this year, Dr. Sandberg was the presenter. He's a Nobel Committee member and a professor of cell and molecular biology. There are 2 authors for the more in-depth document, Advanced Information, for this year. The presenter, Dr. Sandberg, is one of the 2 authors. The other author is Dr. Carlson Hiedestam. She's the chair of the Nobel Committee and a professor of microbiology, tumor, and cell biology with a focus on immunology. So they are the experts. The third reason why this video is good is because watching this video is like reading a good paper. I hope you could see this point when I talked about the slide outlines just now. The presentation starts with the introduction to a big picture overview and the background information. It then discusses the existing problems. It explains what the Nobel laureates achieved and how they did it. It finishes with what the laureates' achievement means and how the field has been transformed by the work and how the field will be changed from now. So the presentation tells the story of discovery using the same format as the stories that the other authors will tell in standard scientific papers. Simply said, the presentation looks like a beautiful primary research paper with a well-structured format. The fourth reason why this video is good is because the presentation includes beautifully crafted figures and schematic diagrams. These illustrations were prepared by the experts, that is, the Nobel Committee for Physiology or Medicine, so they can be trusted. The fifth reason why this video is good is because the two graphs of the real data are presented too. They were copied from milestone articles 1 and 2, one figure panel each from each article. This is very helpful because when we read milestone articles 1 and 2, we will identify those figure panels easily. Then we will know exactly which figure panel is the most important in each article. And the sixth and the last reason why this video is good is because this video is simple and easy to understand. I think it is carefully crafted for scientists outside the field and maybe even non-scientists in mind. Overall, watching this video will give us a precise preview of what we expect to find in the original milestone articles by the laureates. It will give us a very smooth introduction to the work and an understanding of the work. I have already read milestone articles 1, 2, and 3 of this year's laureates. After reading them, I looked at the presentation in the video again. I became even more convinced that the presentation was designed to explain the 3 milestone articles by the laureates in a single, clear storyline. The presentation was designed exactly for us to be ready for reading the milestone articles. I am sure that the Nobel Committee must have spent a lot of time and effort in preparing the high-quality product for us. As a scientist, I would like to appreciate them for their hard work. Summary. Let's wrap up. Today's episode was part 3. We have discussed the first 3 practical steps in preparation for reading the milestone article by the Nobel laureates. They are: Step 1, visit the official website of the Nobel Prize. Step 2, find the YouTube video of the Nobel Prize announcement on the Nobel Prize website. Step 3, watch the video. If you try reading the milestone article without watching the presentation part of the video, it will be very, very challenging to understand the content. You will be able to understand it if immunology is your expertise. Otherwise, I would strongly recommend you watch the video before reading the milestone article. The presentation part of the video is the best resource for reading the laureate's milestone article, and I would say that this is the only resource necessary for obtaining background information. It explains such information in a natural time sequence in the format of a primary research paper. It tells us what the laureates did, how they did it, what was indicated by what they did, and it is aimed at non-experts. So in my view, it is tailor-made for our reading mini-series. This is it for today. In the next episode, we will continue talking about the practical steps of reading the milestone article. Your action. Please send me an email. I would like to communicate with you about your comments, suggestions, and criticisms. Constructive ones, please. My email address is ideas@synaptologica.com. Thank you for joining me in today's episode of Foundational Skills in Life Sciences. I am Dr. Synaptologica. I am looking forward to connecting with you again. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.